Hey all my crafty friends, welcome to my Tuesday Facebook Live. I am so happy to be here and glad that you are joining me. I have seen the horrible storms over the last couple days, so many tornadoes, so much destruction. So I just want to start out by saying I am praying for everyone who has been impacted. It has been a rough storm year for a lot of places. So just praying for you all. I hope that no one that follows me has been impacted. But yeah, it's a crazy weather year for sure. I'm also praying for our country today as it is election day, that no matter what happens with the election, that we will have peace and unity in our country. I know that's a lot to ask, but you know what? God's in control and I'm giving it to him and just praying. So that's my last political thing. Okay, we're moving on. Today is Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, and it is a bit windy here today. You actually could maybe hear my flag blowing in the background. I'm not sure, but it is really blowing out there today. We had rain and then we had winds, and now almost all the beautiful leaves are off the trees, but it's okay. We enjoyed them while we were there. And we have a chance of rain coming tonight and hopefully nothing severe. So that is exciting too. My name is Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. I have been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 27 years now, and I love what I do. I am coming to you from Murfreesboro in Middle Tennessee, and I'm here to help you find the joy of paper crafting and card making, to give you tips and tricks to make it a little bit easier for you, and then to help encourage you to send out your creations to spread that joy and happiness. Please be sure to give me a hello in the comments if you are watching, and if you watch the replay, let me know that also. As always, I will be drawing from all of the comments that you enter today through midnight tomorrow and giving away the card that we make in today's video. Sorry about that. So be sure to comment as many times as you like. I love to hear from you. I like to know what's going on in your life. What crafty projects are you working on? What's the weather like by you? I love that interaction. And even though once I go to my table, hi Janet, I won't be able to interact with you because I don't see the comments, I will come back and respond to them all afterwards. So all of those comments count for a chance to win the card we make today. Congratulations to, now this person's screen name is Koala BC. I don't know the rest of their name, but you won my last card and you have until midnight tonight. I had messaged you and I put it in the post till midnight tonight to private message me with your full name and mailing address, and I'll get that card out to you. And if I don't hear from you by midnight tonight, I will redraw tomorrow morning for a new winner for that. So no big deal next time, right? Okay, also, if you can share my video, that really helps my small business get exposure it wouldn't otherwise have. I so appreciate if you do that. You can do it to your homepage, to a crafty group, to a crafty friend. And when you do that, let me know and I will give you a bonus entry in today's drawing. Okay, let me turn you around. You're going to see it's a little bit cloudy out there today and breezy, like I said. You can't really tell, but it is a little breezy. Yeah, but not too bad. It's just sad that the color went so fast. I was hoping for a little bit more color to last, but when you get the rain and winds here, it goes fast. All right, guys, I'm in the right place, so that is great. This is me, Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. I'm going to just adjust this just a little bit. I'm a little bit crooked here. Not too bad. I think it's pretty close. My blog is crazystampinglady.blogspot.com. My email is crazystampinglady@gmail.com. My Facebook is facebook.com/Crazy Stamping Lady. You can find me on YouTube under my name, Maureen Rolfes, and you can shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. And if you shop with me, wrong side, in the month of November, please use this hostess code. This hostess code gives me the most benefit for your order, which allows me to give back more in prizes and giveaways and incentives. So I really appreciate when you use that code. If your order is over $150 pre-shipping and handling and tax, then don't use it, because in that case you will earn hostess rewards of your own, and I want you to do that. All of my giveaways are usually based on this hostess code. It just makes it the easiest way for me to search. But if your order is over $150, I will always honor that by you not using the code. So just be aware of that. No cards to share today, so we're going to move right on. We do have 2 brand new releases of kits from Stampin' Up! That start today. So if you go out there, you'll be able to find these. Every month we release new kits, which is just so amazing to me now because I love our kits. This month's kits are not card kits, which is just a little bit different. The first one is called Nature's Painting Kit, and it includes a packet, and I don't know how, 24. A packet of 24 watercolor pages that are pre-printed with designs, and then it includes 8 watercolor pencils and a watercolor painter, so you can color those designs, and you can do it if you just like to color, or then you can cut them down. They're just slightly larger than a card front. Cut them down just a little bit and use them as a card front on a card. And they are watercolor paper, so they're thicker, they're beautiful, they hang on to the water really well. So it's like a little coloring book. This is a great kit for Christmas. If you have sons, daughters, nieces, nephews, friends who are crafty that like to paint, what a great kit. It all comes in a little box that you can go with you and craft on the go. The water painter holds the water right in the base of it, so you don't need to bring extra water. The colors of the pencils are Berry Burst, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Flirty Flamingo, Green Garden, or Garden Green, Pumpkin Pie, and Real Red. Great, great colors, guys. So I am placing an order, and that will be on it, I can guarantee you. The second one here is the Layered Landscape Kit. This is a set of 4 frames that can either hang up or they are on a little easel, whichever works for you. They're similar to the plant kit that we have, and I've done that one and love it. It's hanging up in my bathroom, the 4 different pictures of the layered plants. But this one is all landscapes, river scene. It looks like a couple kind of river scenes. This one with mountains in the back. Mountain with snow on it and the meadow in front. The peaks like from one of the things in Utah, one of the places. Just beautiful, beautiful scenery. And they're built up, so they're 3-dimensional. You have all the pieces and you layer them up with dimensionals inside your frame, and then you can use these. You could buy this kit and divide them up into 4 different kits for giveaways. You could put them together and give them to people, especially if any of these are reminiscent of any of their favorite places. I love these little frames. They're thicker, like I said, than the other ones. I think they're about maybe 3/4 of an inch deep. So I'm going to order them to use the frames for other projects and then turn around and make these into card fronts. So however you decide to do it, it's great. Like I said, these kits released today and they are out there on the site. You can just go to the kits collection and see all of our kits, and they are gorgeous. Paper Pumpkin, you have a few more days to subscribe if you're not already subscribed for this month's Paper Pumpkin, which is a Christmas stocking kit. It contains 8 Christmas stockings that are fabric and 8 little gift tags to go with them, as well as safety pins so you can hang the tags right onto them. It has gold foil accents on the paper pieces. The coordinating colors are Flirty Flamingo, Pool Party, Poppy Parade. That's going to be this classic stamp spot that you get also is the Poppy Parade, Shaded Spruce, and Very Vanilla. And yeah, they come in this really cool box. So you have till the 10th of November to go on to paperpumpkin.com and order this kit if you have not already done so, like I said. And make sure that you choose me as your demonstrator if you are there. And then you can also, once you are a subscriber, order the Marion Moore Tags dies add-on. It's not tags, it's the dies add-on. It's 3 different dies. So the little tag that you can print out, the word Mary, and then the fern leaf. And I love these little die sets. They run between 10 and 15 every quarter, depending upon what's in them. And yeah, they're available while supplies last, and you can only order them if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. If you ever have any questions on anything I am telling you, just drop me an email at crazystampinglady@gmail.com, and I will send you more information and clarify. My monthly free card kit. Every month for any orders over $50, I send out a free card kit. The monthly orders of 50 get 3 free card kits in there. The 75 is those 3 free card kits plus a bonus project. And $100 will get you the free card kits, a bonus project, and a half a pack of an embellishment. All of these products are usually retired products, but it doesn't seem to bother any of my customers. They go ahead and make the cards with me, and then they can use those designs for future cards. Any smaller order will receive a handmade thank you card from me, and all orders are entered into my monthly prize drawing. So if you want to see the winners for last month, they were posted on this page. Just scroll down until you see winner, 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 a great big winner banner, and then you will see who my winners were from last month. And those prizes have been sent out. So these kits that you are earning in the month of November will be mailed out by December 1st, and then my December online class will be on facebook.com/Crazy Stamping Lady, which is right where you are right now, on Monday, December 9th at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time. That class is free for anyone to watch, but those who earn the kit can go ahead and see how it comes together. They can craft with me, or they can come back and watch and craft later, because those little videos stay there forever. Okay, catalog selector is up. So I am currently selecting customers that I want to send out the new spring catalog and celebration catalog to. This order is going to be finalized on November 27th. So to be able to qualify to get that from me, you have to be an existing customer who has ordered from me between June 1st and November 26th of this year. I go back 6 months every time. If you do that, the catalog, both the celebration and mini catalog, will be automatically mailed to you by the end of December, no later, and you should receive it in early January at the latest. Hopefully most of you will receive them in December. And if you are a brand new follower of mine and would like a customer or would like a catalog, please just email me at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. I have a little request form that you fill out for me, and then I will get a catalog out to you also. Again, for you to get them this early, you have to have ordered or contacted me by November 26th, because I'm going to finalize on the 27th because of the holidays. If you want a catalog after that, I can still get them to you, but they're going to be more delayed, so you won't get them till sometime in January. So just be aware of that. All right. Current annual catalog, we're actually going to use something out of here today. So for my card, we are going to be using the sketched butterfly stamp set, actually, excuse me, the bundle. And this is on page 68 of the annual catalog. I fell in love with this as soon as I saw it. I love butterflies. I love the sketchy look. I love to color. It just knocked on all of the little things that I needed it to knock on. It has great sentiments, and I'll show you those in a minute. So we're going to be using that. So back to the annual catalog for a bit. And then just a reminder that our mini catalog is still going strong. This mini catalog ends on January 6th, and the new catalogs will start on January 7th. Be aware that soon there will be a last chance list put out for this catalog that will let us know that everything that's going to be retiring. And at that point, and actually even now as it gets closer, products are only available while supplies last if they're not continuing. Okay, let's play. So today we are going to do an old technique. I did this with clubs for the past 15 years, probably it's been around. It is the twisted ribbon technique. I love it. When I get started on it, I want to make a ton of cards with it, and then I forget about it. I don't know if you're the same as me, but I forget about old techniques, and then I see something and go, oh my gosh, I should do that again. So we are using a plain basic white A2 envelope, a basic white A2 base. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have some layers here. So we have a layer of basic white that is 2 inches by 5.5, a layer of petal pink that is 2 1/4 inches by 5.5, and a layer of misty moonlight that is 2.5 inches by 5.5. And then I have 1/2 inch strips of 2 different colors of designer series paper. So this is a great way to use up scraps, because a lot of times I have like a 1/2 inch or an inch left, and I can just trim it down to use it for this. This paper comes from the Country Lace paper, which has the petal pink, the misty moonlight, grays and tans, basic beige. It's just beautiful, delicate designs on this paper. It is from the annual catalog also. And the colors, the colors in here are basic beige, misty moonlight, pale pink, and smoky slate. So great, very neutral paper, but it's going to go beautifully on this card that we are making. And then I've pre-stamped a little butterfly from the Sketched Butterflies, and I have a scrap for my sentiments. I'm going to set those to the side for a minute. So here is that bundle. And I'm going to pull this right off the top because we're going to be using that little die. So it is the Sketched Butterflies. It has all these beautiful dies. So die cuts to cut out the butterfly images, excuse me, as well as die cuts that just cut out solid butterflies if you want them without having to stamp first, which is always nice because it makes your dies and stamps a little more diverse. You can do cards that don't look quite the same because now you're just doing a regular butterfly rather than one that you've stamped already. So I like that. The sentiments in here are: you brighten up so many of my days, thinking of you, hope is a beautiful thing that flutters in the soul, and wishing you a beautiful birthday, and then a thank you down here. So all really nice, versatile sentiments. Really makes this a set that you can use over and over and over. Okay, let's do some technique stuff here. So I'm going to set everything aside except for my 2 inch by 5.5 inch piece of basic white and my little strips here, because we're going to be using those first. And I am going to grab my cutter, and we're going to be using the embossing blade on here. So let me get some stuff out of the way so I can push this up a little bit more, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Let's see if that's up on screen. Come on, I can push. There we go. I think we're good. So what I'm going to do is take this 2 inch by 5.5 inch piece, and we are, oh, I just knocked my notes over. We are going to score this at 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to come in here, and I'm trying to do this pretty close to exact, but if it's off a little bit, I'm sure it won't matter too much, at 1 inch. So we're just scoring it at every 1/2 inch. And mostly I'm scoring it just to get the markings. I'm not scoring it to have a deep score, so you don't have to go back and forth over it a bunch of times. You just want to know where those 1/2 inch marks are on here. You could also use a little pencil tick on each side at the 1/2 inch marks, and then go back and erase those if anything is showing. Either way works. These pretty much get covered up, all of these little lines that we're scoring. So once you put this together, you won't really notice them on there. But whatever one of those two techniques works better for you, that's what you should do. How many of you guys have done this technique before and remember it from like years ago? It was so popular. I want to make sure I have this last one at the right. So I'm going to come in from this side at the 1/2 inch mark right there. All right, so I just scored at all those 1/2 inch intervals on there. Easy peasy. You can do it with any scoring, but like I said, you also could use a ruler on each side and just do 1/2 inch tick marks up and down the side. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to grab my silicone mat, because we're going to be using glue, and glue can get messy. And if it's on here, it just kind of rolls off when it dries, so I like that. And for this technique, I use liquid glue. It just works the best because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room on what I'm doing. So I am going to start with my Petal Pink strip, and these can be as long or short as you want. You're just going to need enough to cover the card with what we're doing. So we're going to put our Tombow glue on the back of here. And I'm making it just as long as I think, as much glue on there as I think to go across the strip. I've gotten pretty good at doing that by just looking at it. And then I'm going to take this top corner, so the very top edge of the strip, I'm going to match that up in that corner over there. And then the top edge of the strip, I'm going to come down to that first score line. And like I said, this gives it a little wiggle room if you have to move it at all. So it's just coming, the top of this strip is coming from the top here to the top of this strip is coming from the, it's coming from the very top edge of the cardstock to that first score line. And you're using the top for that. It shouldn't be difficult. It's actually very easy, but sometimes that gets confusing, like where your top is going and where your bottom is going. So I'll try to be real clear as I'm going and doing this. And then we're just going to snip off the extra on each side. Just like that. Let's throw this one away. And then we're just going to kind of follow that pattern. So now I have this angle here. I'll be able to put this one, the top edge, at this next score line and then down to the next score line here. So let's add our glue again. So this can be a little tedious to watch, so I'll try to talk to you as we do it, but pay attention to what I'm doing because, like I said, it can get confusing. And with the video, you can always go back and repeat it if you need to. So I'm coming again with the top edge of this Petal Pink piece, and I'm going from this next score line down to the next score line. So I'm just keeping that same angle as I go down. We'll trim this one. And then I can add my glue again. So I remember doing this with clubs and they were a little confused about that top and bottom. It was probably how I was describing it more than anything, who knows. But like I said, it really is a pretty easy technique. And once you get going, it's so much fun and you want to just keep doing it. And it uses up those 1/2 inch scrap pieces, which to me is amazing. Because I love to use up every bit of scrap that I can on my cards. Come down here with this one. And if any glue is going off the edge, because I have my silicone mat underneath, it's going to be easy to remove later when I need to. So we'll come down there. But so far I've been pretty good at the length of my glue. Okay, so now you can see when I trim this one off, let me see if I can get this picked up. I'm not going to have enough of a piece for the next one. So I'm just going to throw that little scrap away and we're going to go to our next piece of Petal Pink that I have here and start the same thing. Now on this one, because now it's a straight edge and it wasn't cut off at an angle, when I place it, again, I'm going to place it so the top edge is here, the bottom edge is on this one, but I'm leaving a little over because I want that angle on there. It would have been straight otherwise. So when you start a new strip, you have to start it off of the paper a little bit. And then after you trim that up, you're able to use that same angle every time on the very next one. Okay, let's add some more Tombow on the back of here. So let me know if you've done this before. I would love to hear. Like I said, it's an oldie but a goodie. And when I see cards, I think, why do I forget about those techniques? What is it that makes my mind forget them? I even have technique books that I can go back and look at, but I'm usually too busy and don't end up doing it. So, Okay, I'm going to come and place that. So this very last one is coming from this edge where the top is hitting on that score line, and the bottom corner, the top of it, is coming right down to the bottom corner of the white. And it's going to stick over the end like that, so you are going to need to trim this piece up. This is usually where I have the most ooey gooey glue left. And if it gets onto my scissors, which it will, when we're all done with this project, when I'm all done making something that gets a lot of glue onto my scissors, you can see it sticking right there. Let's trim that off really nice. There you go. You're going to want to go back in and clean your scissors, the blades, and get that glue off. And I've shown this before, but I'm going to show it again right now. I use these little alcohol swabs that you can get in the pharmacy section of any pharmacy. They're very inexpensive. I know that diabetics use them when they're giving themselves injections or testing their blood samples, but they're wonderful. It's kind of a cotton swab that just has the alcohol in it. I open it up, wipe it over the tips of my scissors, clean off all that glue, and I'm ready to go. Also works good for cleaning glue off of the glass mat or off of your blocks or anywhere else you might be getting it. Okay, so now we're going to come back and we're going to do a ribbon going the other direction. And for that one, I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight pattern. Now, these little dollops on here do have a right and wrong. On here with the dots, it didn't matter. But on this one, I want them kind of going up. They could also be going down. I just want them to be consistent. So I'm going to think about that as I'm laying my pieces on here. So for the first one, I'm going to come in here and add some Tombow, same way, but this time we're adding it on the Petal Pink side. This is a reversible paper, so we're just using two sides of the same paper. And for this one, I'm going to come in here, and now I'm going to be matching the bottom edge of this piece. So I'm putting this bottom edge right on that first score line, which is where this is, right here. And I'm doing the top edge. Let me get that where I want it. So it's coming right up to the corner, and you have that little bit of a white gap showing between them. And this is, again, this is one of those, the end ones are the ooey gooeyest because you have the most to cut off that has a lot of glue on it, just like that. And I'm going to trim this off and make it flat because that long strip is difficult to work with. And we're going to come back in here. So again, we're putting the glue on the Petal Pink side so that the Misty Moonlight side is up. And now we're going to come in here and go back to our old ways. It's only that first one that you have to worry about the bottom edges. Now we're going to worry about the top edges again. So I'm going to come here off the edge a little bit, making sure my design's going the same way. I'm going to hit that corner, and I'm going to bring it over to that corner right there at an angle. So your spacing now is going to go the same down with the Misty Moonlight, just as it did with the Petal Pink. Let's get that little dip off. And now that I've done a regular angle, I'm going to have that same thing where I can follow with the angle that I've cut, which just makes it a little faster and easier when you can do that. So let's add our glue on here. And we're going to place this one. So the top edge again is at that score line. And the top edge over here comes right up. So this is starting to look like a twisted ribbon, like a ribbon that had a design that was different on each side. It almost seems when you look at it like those pieces of designer series paper go all the way around and wrap, but they don't. And that's just the cool illusion that you get with this. We're almost done with this part, guys. And then the rest of the card's going to come together pretty quickly. Match that up. So you're just now, like I said, you're doing top to top, but what you're doing is you're just kind of overlapping the ribbon as if it was twisted around the card. That's what you're trying to make it look like. throw this little piece, oh, I hope I didn't get any glue on there. Get off there. This little piece away because it's too tiny. And then we're gonna add our next one. Hopefully I have enough here. If not, I'll have to trim up another piece, which I can do pretty easily. I grab this one. And again, this is a straight edge now. I have my design going the same direction, but I'm gonna have to go off of the edge a little bit here so that I can trim that off at that angle. Okay. We'll trim this piece off. Whoops, not quite straight, Maureen. First one, I didn't do too straight there. Want to make sure you get them really straight. It actually does show if you're a little bit off. And also when you're trimming this side over here, if you're a little off, your angle won't be right. So try to pay attention to that when you're doing it. This one's going to go from here up to here. All right, so I'm just laying that right with that bottom and coming up over here. So now hopefully you can see what I'm talking about when they call this twisted ribbon, and that makes sense to you. I actually just love it. I think it is so pretty, and you'll see how we're going to use it in the card in just a minute, and I hope you like it too. So now this is my silicone mat. You can see I got some glue on here in a couple little places. All you need to do is just take your finger and rub it on that dry glue, and then it brushes right off. I'm going to throw it in my trash down here, and then this is ready to use on my next card. So a silicone mat is an invaluable tool, guys, especially if you're making a mess with glue like I tend to do. Okay, so let's put our card together. I think I'm going to do my coloring first here. So we're going to color this little butterfly from the Sketch Butterflies, and I'm going to color it with blends. And I'm just coloring it. I am not going to worry about blending. It's a tinier image, and I just want it to match the colors in my card. So the blends I chose are the Petal Pink and the Misty Moonlight. We'll do those sections. I'm going to come in here and color the body just a little bit. And then I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight to go around the edge and add the blue. I love this little butterfly. Or it could be a moth, I'm not sure. We did it on a card in my card classes last month, and we used brown on it, and it looked a little more moth-like, but still beautiful. Love it, love it. There's some gorgeous moths out there, guys. I've seen a few of them, and they just make me smile as much as the butterflies do. That's one thing that's nice about having my office here right at the front of the house and being able to look out is I see a lot of butterflies outside on my plants, and they bring me a ton of joy. So I'm glad that that worked out. Okay, so there is our little butterfly. Let's cut it out while we're finishing it up here. I'm just going to use my mini cut and emboss machine. We're going to place it on there with some washi tape. So I'm just making sure it's all centered on my butterfly, right where it should be. I'm going to push my washi tape down to hold it in place. And we're going to run it through. You only need to run it once. There's nothing intricate in this die, so it cuts out just perfect with one roll through. And I'm going to peel off that washi tape very gently. I reuse my washi tape, so this one's not super sticky anymore. But I want to be sure it doesn't tear my paper. So always be a little gentle when you're pulling this off. And let me put my die in my little magnetic case over here so I don't lose it while I'm finishing up this card. Alrighty, so that is done. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment. So I chose the sentiment that says, wishing you a beautiful birthday. And I'm going to stamp that with Memento because I did my butterfly in Memento. And I don't think I mentioned it, but the reason I stamped that ahead of time is whenever you're using blends with Memento ink, you want to be sure it is completely dry before you add your blends. So I always try to stamp them ahead of time. I did this one actually last night, so the Memento was completely dry. Usually 10 minutes, half hour, either one, just take a little time is fine, but I like to leave them overnight if I think of it. So there's our wishing you a beautiful birthday. So I did memento here to kind of match the black on that sketch. And we're going to punch this out using the Labeled with Love punch. And I'm going to tip it upside down so I can center it where I want it. And come in here. And I'm going to try to center this, Oklahoma, really straight if possible. And there, I think we're good. So we're going to punch that out. So that'll be our sentiment. Excuse me. So now we have most of our pieces. I did want to do a little more stamping. So on my card base, I am going to take Misty Moonlight ink and this butterfly, which is really like an assortment of 4 little butterflies flying. And we're going to add these to the front of our card. And let me see, I want to do it, I'm going to do it on this side. Whenever I have just a hair, so there's just this tiniest piece overlapping that sticks out, if I stamp on the front here, I might get some ink on that inside piece. So I always flip it so that's not showing, so that's to the back. And then we're going to use this as the front of our card. So I'm going to place my little butterflies, just kind of scattered, onto the front of this card. We'll do this one at a little different angle. And then up at the top, I think I'm just going to add these 2 from the side and ink those up. So now we have our scattering of little butterflies on our card. And let me get my chamois, because I went off the edge and I want to be sure I clean up any ink that might be on here so it doesn't get on my card. Okay. And then I'm going to do this kind of same design, since I have the ink out, on the envelope. So we're going to come in here and I'm going to come up like that. And then maybe like this. Well, I didn't do that top one. I'm not even going to mess with it because my address label is going to go over that. Just kind of scatter it up there. The envelope I give you won't have that mistake. I will use that one, so no problem there. Oh, and I wanted to add a couple of those little butterflies to the inside of my card. So let's place them down here. Let's see how I want to turn this. I think I'm going to turn it at this angle. And I'm not going to put another sentiment on the inside, but I just love just adding those little butterflies, just pulls the whole design together. And on the envelope, I did want to stamp the same sentiment that we put on our tag. So let me do that right away. We might as well get this all done, and then we're ready to put the card together. So wishing you a beautiful birthday, just like that. All right, guys, there is our envelope. You know I don't like naked envelopes. I always try to decorate my envelopes in some way. Okay, so let's put this card together. Super simple from this point on. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal here. We're just going to put some of it on the back. So I'm doing the bottom, the middle, and the top. And we're going to add that to our petal pink layer. Now it's the same length as the petal pink layer. I gave you those measurements at the beginning, and I will post them in the comments or in the description section of this video. Okay, so we're just centering it side to side, top to bottom is the same length. Come in here and do the same thing. Add seal to the back of this, and then we're going to add it to our Misty Moonlight section. I think I'm going to go this direction, although I could have flipped it when I put it on the card, but let me see if I can get this pretty centered all the way to the bottom. All right, I'm just going to push it on the back to make sure that it's adhered really well. So there is that strip. This is going to get added directly to the front of our card. So for that, I want to put a little more adhesive. This is kind of a heavy piece now because we've layered all those layers up. So I want to be sure it sticks on really well. And we're going to place this over to the side, and I'm leaving just a hair of basic white, showing that looks like it's now one more layer. So it's the white, it's the pink, it's the blue, it's the white again. So That's why I did that. It just almost looks like another little layer on there. And I got something on my card here. Not sure what it is. It might be ink. Oh, that just took it off, so we're good. Okay, so that is that layer. Then we're going to add our sentiment. And because this is built up so much on this side here, we're going to add our sentiment up on dimensionals on this side, but only seal on this side. So let me add my seal to there, because that is already up on all of these layers. And then we'll add a couple dimensionals to the other end. So I'm anxious to see if any of you will try this technique. I'm going to be playing with it. Like I said, once I started, I want to make more and more of these. It's so funny. And then I forget about it. And then I want to make more and more again. So I'm kind of centering this sentiment about an inch up from the bottom and making it almost centered on the card, maybe slightly to the right here, wherever it looks good to you. I mean, it could be placed at the top or the middle too, and that would work also. But we're going to put our guy right here. I'm going to take my little butterfly and I'm going to bend the wings up on him because I want him to look like he's taking off in flight. And we're going to add a glue dot. So let me see where I want to place him before I do that. I think, do I want him there? Do I want him there? Do I want him? I think I'm going to place him up here, and we're just going to have just the very bottom of his body touching the sentiment. So I'm going to put my glue dot down here at the bottom of the body section. And if the glue dot goes over onto the wings at all, just push it back with your fingernail or the end of your snips tool so that it's just on that body portion. That'll allow your wings to pop up a little bit. We're going to come in here and place this right above our sentiment here so that we're not blocking our words. You see how it looks like it's taken off, which is pretty cool. And then we need to add a little bit of bling. So for the bling on here, I'm going to use the Regal foiled dots. I haven't used these yet. They're from the fall catalog. Actually, I just got them. In this dots, there's 4 different colors, and they're all the same size. It's not an assortment of sizes, which I like when we have different options like that. So I'm good with that. These look like they're Misty Moonlight, and they have gold sparkle in them. Can you see that on camera? Little bitty gold flakes throughout the gems. Really, really pretty. So let's see. We're going to place one here. And whoops, another one right here. And then of course we need 3. So now I need to decide where this third one is going to go. Oh, I don't think I got the backing with that one. I'll push it back down in there and try again. There, we got it. So this could go on the body of the butterfly, but I think instead I'm going to place it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change it all up. We're going to do 5 of them on here. They're just tiny little gems, so I'm going to kind of scatter them among the butterflies. And you want to do an odd number. It's usually more pleasing to the eye. So there we have 4. And let's place our last one up here, just like that. Okay. That's our card, guys. This is the one I'm giving away, except I will correct your envelope for you using the twisted ribbon technique. And again, I will post all the measurements for this in the description. You can find a ton of card ideas for this on Pinterest. Just search on twisted ribbon cards. It opens up and it has those beautiful little butterflies on the inside. How cute. Let me show you my prototype because I changed a couple things up today when I did this one. So here's the one I did when I was putting this together. And on this one, my butterfly didn't fit well up here. If I put it up here, it was going to have to cover my letter A, and I didn't want it. So it just depends upon where your sentiment is on your label. So for this one, I put the butterfly down here at the bottom. And instead of those Regal foiled dots, I used the Pretty Pink and Petal Pink and Pretty Peacock foiled gems. These do come in 2 different sizes. And I put those on here. So those are right here and they matched with the Petal Pink. So either one looks great. For this one, I just did the 3. I kind of like the scattering of the 5 on here. That looks pretty to me too. So, and you can see my design here. The petals kind of went down on the blue. On this one, they go up. Couple little subtle changes, but really doesn't change the card at all. So again, this is the one I am giving away. Please leave your comments because you want a chance to win this. It'll come out to you in a plastic envelope with no indication it was from me, and you can send it off to anyone that you want to, and they'll think, how beautiful. Okay, couple things. Mark your calendars for November 15th and 16th as our Global Inspiration Stamp Team group will be back on for 2 days of One Sheet Wonder presentations. If you're part of that group, you're already in, just search on that and you can join us for the free event. If you would like to join the event and you're not a member of that group, let me know. The group is only open to the demonstrators who participate. It's open to our customers and our team members. We cannot invite you if you are a demonstrator under someone else, not in our group. And I apologize for that, but it is just a closed group. It is as a thank you for our customers and team members. So if you've ordered from me before, if you're on my team, you are welcome to join. Just let me know and I will send you an invite. I am so happy you were here with me today. Thank you for taking some time out of your day. I hope you liked the card. I hope you liked the tips and tricks I showed you and this fun new technique that is really a very old technique. I can't wait to see if you make something with it. Please post it in the comments. Don't forget to leave your comments for a chance to win today's card. You have till tomorrow night to be entered to win. I would love to hear from you. I would also love to have your business. If you are looking for Stampin' Up! Products, or if you have an interest in joining my Crazy Stamping Lady team, please let me know. I'm here to be your creative coach. So if you have any questions at all or need a catalog again, remember, please reach out to me in the comments of this video or email me at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. I do plan to be here on Friday. It's a busy day for me, but I plan to be here with another fun project, and I hope you will join me. Same time, same place. Till then, have a great week, and I will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.